Thank you.
I absolutely agree with the principle that 17.4 million people voted to leave the European Union, which is exactly why the most democratic way of going forward is to ask the people in 2019, once we know what the choices are. And the real lie of the Believe campaign to me was that it was not a clear choice. That is what was the betrayal to the people. Now in 2019, if we had a referendum, we would give people a clear choice between a Brexit deal, and I don't mind which one that is, and staying in the European Union, which would be a much more honest referendum this time round. But I need to get on. There is actually, and we are coming to that, a very easy way of this government to get a deal through, to agree to put it to the people. The government has unfortunately made its position clear. It doesn't support a people's vote. But the great strength of the indicative vote process two days ago is that it could test a sentiment in the House and had started of combining choices. Combining choices is how the indicative vote process can move forward towards a majority view. Not all choices can be combined. We cannot combine leaving the EU with not leaving the EU. But we can combine leaving the EU with a people's vote. The indicative vote on Tuesday, a people's vote, achieves the highest numbers of votes. So the question for today is why the Prime Minister doesn't offer a people's vote on her deal to get it over the line. I have a strong suspicion that if the House was to vote for a combined motion to vote for the Prime Minister's deal subject to a people's vote, the Prime Minister would vote against her own deal. We keep coming back, and we've done that, to the question of our democracy. I and many others in this House have pointed out that democracy didn't end in 2016. It is now over 2.5 years since that date. And it is increasingly absurd for members to argue for implementing the will of the people in 2016 while simultaneously refusing to ask the people what they think in 2019. And absolutely, if we have the right to change our mind, why do we not give that democratic right to the people of this country? And I say to the Prime Minister, you can get your deal over the line by combining it with a people's vote, and I hope very much that moving on into next week's indicative votes, we can all agree to combine some of our options as a compromise. But the ultimate thing has to be, if we are doing that here, if we are changing things, that change needs to be put back to the people. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Dominic Raab.